we are meant to serve the purpose of the truth, never the space of a shadow trying to claim that this is the truth, this is the ultimate truth, and use it in favor of it to have that popularity, have that vocabulary, and be very, very careful. So I'm going through a lot of emails and a lot of texts. I'm still underlying this way of your explaining your difficulty or you're explaining your success. There is still that subtle part has enters into it. Now, why I am saying this, if that truth by vocabulary, you are entertaining a crowd and maintaining that part and you think it is a realization, it never transitions into a realization. It is waiting for a bigger fall and a collapse to happen. You will be very, very careful. And that might be the space of your learning. So saying that, be very gentle about your practice to identify when this ego still returns back very gently and you're using the truth, you're using the vocabulary of it. Just that subtle manipulation go back to the ego. It is very, very important. Today's class is going to tell you it is not the duality and running into polarities. It is just how to maintain this space without giving any energy into it, because it is a very depleted energy when that happens. It depletes you. When the truth and the realization, and you're serving the purpose of that truth and the realization, there's a transition energy that uplifts you on a level of a body and a mind, but beyond that, it lights up. So saying that, now take a deep breath in and find your space to gently relax. Remember, you're bringing the vessel, but the spirit comes through the mind and the body, but it doesn't mean it is existing only in those two polarities. So let this space, let the sound be. Your silence is not without the sound. Your realization is not without the thoughts. Let all be there, but inquire and ask yourself, am I participating in it or I am witnessing it? At that very moment, in a nutshell, all the explanation I did in a vocabulary form will be transitioning into a realization energy, whatever that energy is. Now I'll move the camera towards Darren, drop the shoulders up, pull the head back, and very gently release the tension that you're trying to sort out the things in the space of the head. Open and close that mouth wider. Chin to the chest, completely relaxed, and breathe out to a seated cat. Breathing in, shoulders roll back into a seated cow. Tongue roll up onto the upper palate. Energy gaze onto the Chitakasha. Breath out. Pull the anus in, navel in, throat in, into a seated cat. Now in this, you are opening up the space of the bandhas, but your responsibility, it isn't the world obligation to tiptoe around you when you're blaming the world. Breathing in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the third eye, just coming into that space of the realization. Now neutral spine and stretch the neck to the right side very gently. Back into the center, stretch the neck onto the left side. Back into the center. Now take a deep breath in and twist the spine to the very gently onto the right side. Stomach pulled in. back into the center. Change the formation of the legs. Now very gently twisting the body onto the opposite direction. Don't resist anything. Not say that body is today this and that. Back into the center, whatever is surface is passing, whether it's passing over the head, passing next to the body. Just understand. When you understand this, you understand the sound, whatever the sound, noise. Who is noisy is not the surface. Who is not flexible is not in the body. It is in that space of your ego and the mind. Now, got it? Therefore, you're seeking flexibility. Therefore, you're seeking silence. Therefore, you're seeking God. Have you got it? Now take a deep breath in, shrug the shoulders up, tilt the head back, and massage C1, C2, C3. Chin to the chest and drop the shoulder. Now take a deep breath in, shoulders relax and chest open. Lift up the chest a little bit more, the spine erect. And very gently, left leg stretch into the back. Now your right hip is gently opening. Shoulders roll back. Take a deep breath in. You understand what I'm saying? You understand that your head is not now try to separate anything? The whole. You understand this. Now very gently drop the elbows. Completely breathe out, releasing the tension. Whether we are breathing in, whether we are breathing out, whether we are moving the body, whether we are moving the thoughts, it is the nature of they are all separate. Body is separate from the mind, mind is separate from the thought. In any level, in a universal level, in a religious level, or now you understand the ignorant part of it. If you are in the body, it is limited. If you're in the thought, it is limited. If you're in the breath, it is limited. And everything what you're doing, the conversation will be against something. Now take a deep breath in very gently. Coming back, shoulders relax, just open. Now you follow? Now constantly you implies the constant division into your life. Whether you are a Buddhist, whether you're a recovering Buddhist, whether you're recovering from this Muslim, Hindu, Jew, Arab, in a country level, in a language level, in a color level, constant division. So we are separated. So when we are separated, what do we ask? Silence from these people, that people. Separate from this, that. Now very gently, meaning of plank. Strong on the pelvic floor, left knee onto the floor. Take a deep breath in, right arm reaching up. The unity of the breath, the unity of the movement. Right. Touch the floor. Very gently drop the knee, completely coming into the cat. Now you're not seeking for the first time. Now you don't want peace for yourself because you're peaceful with not having the peace also. Your silence without asking any sounds to go away. Breathing in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the third eye. Breathe out. Venous lock, navel lock, throat lock. Breathing in, breathe out. Neutral spine. Left arm reaching into the front up to the ceiling. Under the armpit. Dropping. Shoulders relax. Now, do you see this? Are you now seeking out for yoga? No. Are you seeking out to silence? Are you seeking out to flexibility? No. Are you creating any disorder in your head? Order is when you are in the space of the being. When all the disorders of your creating order under the name of the order has to stop here. Now, are you with me? Breathing in very gently, coming back, shoulders relaxing. To find out something, you always have to stop the seeking part of it. Now give a good rotation to the hips. Of course, the digestion will relax. They are part of wiping out things no longer serving you. Onto the other side, because remember we thought, if it is in separation, it has a conflict in the digestion. It has a conflict in the organ. But you're beyond that. Onto the other side. Now, wherever the body is, when there is that complete comprehension of the disorder, take a deep breath in, push the hips into the front, push the hips into the back, breathe out. Naturally allow the order. Now you're not separating anything. Now you can see the mind coming, thoughts coming into the mind on separation. Language coming. Everyone talks through separation. Now there is order. There is beyond the universe of the unity of the God realization, not because the universe is having order, even the disorder you are rising, you are setting, you are blooming. Crawling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing in into up face. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in left foot into the front onto the pigeon toes. Shoulders roll back. Take a deep breath in. Breath out. Drop the elbows, focus up. Now you're coming to the nature of things. Nature of having a body and a mind. But the nature was never to be separated. Now take a deep breath in, palm spacing down. Coming into the space again, walk those palms, self-centeredness. Now there is something order, whether you have this human body, whether you are a tree in this universe, whether you are a bird in this, whether you are a mountain in it, there is order. Now you got it so far with me. Which is timeless, which is ageless. Plan. stronger on the pelvic floor. Right knee onto the floor. Left arm reaching up into the ceiling, into the back, onto the floor. Release and release all this verbal nonsense. Until you put this practice to understand your own life. Drop the knee completely, breathe out to the cat. Intuitively ask why you live this way. Intuitively ask why you do this way. Breathing in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gates, onto the third eye. Breathe out. Neutral spine, right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Into the back under the armpit. Now you see, you can destroy everything because of this seeking. The problem with the wife, problem with the traffic, problem with the health, problem with the world. Until you come into this realization, there's no order. You have not come to stop wars. You have not come to plant trees. They're all important. But if you're doing through the separation, you have a war already, even doing the good deeds. Now you got me. Don't write email that I said not to plant trees. Where there is compassion, there is a level of a supreme intelligence enters into you, changing the whole being. But you are serving the truth, not you are taking the truth to serve you. Not that artificial intelligence of Googling everything, finding everything. Take a deep breath in, very gently coming back. Breathe out into the space of the cat. Anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. Now work with your breath, work with your water level, work with your earth level. Apo, tejo, vayu, patari, heat level. Breathing in, tongue roll up onto the space of the feather. Neutral spine, give a good rotation to the hips, give a good rotation. Now that when there is that quality, the healing has begun. We are healing from what? The abuse that our egos have created to us. You understood? The whole business of conditioning, whole business of education, whole business of thoughts, whole business of looking after yourself as the ego self, onto the other side. Because you go to the temple, you drop a coin and ask the God to protect you. Which part of you asking to protect? Now that is free. Onto the other side. God does not know you individually. Individuals are all the egos. It knows you through its intelligence, and that's out of love. But it is not a condition to see thoughts and emotions and pictures. It is free from all that quality of the brain. Onto the other side. Very gently now, palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest onto the floor. Take a deep breath in and coming into a gentle cobra this time. Understood the whole business? Now, witnessing is very important because witnessing is everything is an enormous level of a distraction if you cannot witness. Got it? So we release the passion of doing things and we are coming into the realization of the compassion, the intelligence. Beyond that, there is total nothingness. Especially in this era of Kali Yuga. Overlooking to the left, overlooking to the right, back to the center. Now very gently land the third eye onto the space. So onto the floor. Now where there is attitude, there is an ego. When there is a gratitude, then there's a flow, which no one really pointed out, which no one's really aware of. So where is your suffering? Where is your pain come? From totally a misunderstanding. Now very gently breathe out towards the down face. Left leg up into the back. Left knee to the left chest. Breathing in. Stretch back, left knee onto the left elbow. Stretch back, left knee onto the right elbow. Stretch back. Left foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back. Arms raise onto the crown. Palms onto the namaskar position of the realization. Body went through, mind went through. Who you are really, serving the truth. So ego thinks that I am the thought, I am the body, I am the hurt, and it's higher than. So ego constantly serves that space. Own thoughts, own confusion, own separation. Now turn to the right and opening up onto the Virabhadrasana. Your ego should be your humble servant serving the truth. Otherwise, you become the slave to these emotions and you're taking even saying that self-care, self-love to your own thoughts, to your own confusion. Whenever you come across any truth in life, we immediately want it to serve us. We don't serve it, we don't protect it. So many things are in the space is ignored. Gentle arch. Breathing in, coming back into the center. Elbow onto the knee. Right arm reaching up. Right arm reaching into the front. Up into the ceiling, into the back, touch the floor. Drop the back knee onto the floor, holding onto the front knee. I'll switch onto the side, Garudasana right in the top. Now sit deeper. Now touch the third eye slightly. Now ask the question. Let's say you have Jesus Christ, let's say you have a teacher, let's say you have a guru, you have a Buddha. Immediately your ego wants it to serve you. I want this, I want that. Just ask, when you are totally in the space of the service, you will also serve that. But you will use all the words properly, cunningly to cover this selfishly. Most of the people even move into relationships so that the relationship can serve them, not serving it. Now, when you come into this realization, are you with me? Spread the wings wider and release. It is stagnated in somewhere and still you're holding. Touch the spread the wings. Transformation, that way you get up. Initiation is when you wake up. God is with you when you really wake up into this. Waking up into what? Into life. Before was a story. Now it's transformed into a higher plank. Strong on the pelvic floor. Lower plank, otherwise coming to the Bhujangasana, breathing in into a up face. Breathe out first, down first. Right leg up into the back, right knee to the chest, breathe out. Stretching back, right knee to the right elbow, breathe out. Stretch back, breathing in, right knee into the left elbow. Stretching back, right foot into the front. Arms stretched into the back. Arms raised onto the ground. Palms onto the pranam position. You have realized that you need to serve the truth within you. You need to serve. Even when I say truth, you are now looking at the truth, not in you. You're looking at, oh, may I have to do that to someone else. If you see it in someone else, then that's fine. Opening up onto the left side, onto the Virabhadrasana. Now you got it. Now you are out of the disability. When I say disability, not that you have to wear crutches, out of your confusion. Take a mudra that's spontaneously flow to start to serve the truth. Now you see, now you're in harmony. Now you see, gentle arch. Now, do you have to have the body in harmony to come into this harmony? Do you have the mind in the perfect condition to come to this harmony? Do you have the breath comes into a perfect? Do you have to have silence now? No. Elbow onto the knee. Switch that arm up. Switching to the front. Touch the floor. Holding onto the front knee. Shoulders relaxed. Very gently, when you have the space, create the Garudasana. Left on the top. Left arm on the top. Now, when you have this slavery to the ego, even when you go to a relationship, you treat the relationship of the other out of the same slavery to entertain yourself. Now you got whether we have that relationship with the food, whether we have that relationship with the health, whether we have that relationship with the mind, it is totally in the space of condition, control, serving yourself. So if you have lost the truth, bring the truth back. and start serving. And you're serving that space. Now you are in the service of that light, service of that call, service of that Christ, service of that Buddha. If you have these level of strong beliefs, spread the wings, stroke the third eye. Otherwise, you are just like a dark hole, consuming everything. Even the truth of the realization, if it's not realized, it will consume that land under the name of disorder. Stronger, drop the knees, stretch the spine, this time knees wide apart. So if you consume all those things, it depletes that space of the energy. Now, if you feel depleted in the space, see whether your thoughts are serving you, your ego, which we are unable to see. Because the higher never can serve that little part of the ego. Only when your humble ego slowly diminishing by serving the truth. When there is that service, there is a growth for you. A lot of people enter into this space to help others, but they can't help themselves in that. And then the other becomes the problem. You have to come into a realization this is unconditional. When it goes to the mind, you don't feel it's depleted. Because the mind is the profit and loss account. It will say, you have given too much. You have shared too much. You got it so far with me now? Now palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Breathing in into up face. Take your time, take your time. Breathe out towards the down face. Now walk those palms very gently towards your feet. Bend the knees and holding onto the opposite elbows if you can. Move the neck and the head and release any tension into the front and into the back onto the side. Very gently bend the knees and sit in deep. Now, another inquiry. Now, so far you're with me. Now, why did you went to school and educated yourself? Because you want the education, the accolades to serve you, the ambitions. But you never question, how can I serve that space of education so that I can make some changes for people to serve the purpose? The art of serving, art of listening, art of living. Even these days, when someone sees a beautiful picture or artwork, they want to buy it and put it in their lounge. Only few of their family members will see. I'm using that as an example. But was it celebrated with a lot? Now, when you come into this realization, this transformation, when you come across the truth, even you study a podcast, study a book, or study a statement, notice that you want to serve that, not that is serving you. Bum onto the floor. Very gently release the shackles of the conditioning from the feet and the legs. Shake the arms and shake the legs. Just take a deep breath in. Let's say that breath is the truth. Does it want to serve the breath or it want to serve your ideas about ego, and it will make you more egoistic? That is the war. That is the devil. That is the darkness. Now serve your life, serve your realization every morning, serve your compassion every morning, serve your love every morning. Then your mind is transitioning into serve. The body is transitioning to serve. You got it so far? Now bend the knees slightly, pull the buttocks out, take a deep breath in, arms raised onto the ground, and roll forward. I am not talking about the death of the ego, kill the ego. I am not. It's needed, but it is needed as a servant, not as a master. Now take a deep breath in, roll a little bit forward, arms raised, palms onto the floor, feet stretching, bum lifting up. Function as a servant to the energy to serve life. Breathing in gently, coming down, knees to the chest completely, breathe out. Breathing in, arms raised onto the ground, feet stretched up. Breathe out, knees to the chest. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathing in, breathe out. Breathing in, breathe out. Breathing in, breathe out, chin up. One more, breathing in, breath out. Sole of the feet together, knees wide apart. And the ankles locking onto the toes into the Kumarasana. Deep breath in, breath out, walk the bum back very gently. Walk the bum back very gently. Now feet on the floor, releasing the tension. Now, a lot of people coming into this confusion, let's kill the ego, let's destroy the ego. Now, that is also coming from the ego. In Buddha's time, people said, oh, the body is evil, so let's starve the body. But when we come into that sattvic understanding, not tamasic or rajasic, sattvic understanding, functioning, then your mind is a tool to serve. The mind is a tool to understand life, understand flow. The body is a tool to understand the flow. Are you with me now? Now let's put an inquiry. Are you serving life or you? Not the life as a lot of age to live, not the life as a perfect condition of a body. So there's no expectation of others for what we are doing. Now very gently coming out of the posture, release the tension. Shoulders relaxed, being into a space of seating. Twist the spine to the left side. Back into the center. Change the leg formation onto the right side. Back to the center. Breath out to a seated cat. Breath in and elongate the spine. Now very gently, shoulders relax and chest open. Now very gently through the breath, through this whole understanding with everything. Ask the question, what is it means to be a true disciple, not following, but following to serve the truth. Truth in whichever the form it is come across. You honor, become the light to your condensed matter. Now you could see, the moment you think about yourself, the dark aspect of that ego, it wants to pull into the gravity which it wants other energies to converge into. Serve that. And you get frustrated when people don't listen to you. You get frustrated when you cannot communicate that to the person. But when you serve the light, the bright aspect, it's like a sun, which only expands and shares the light. It's not a dark hole, which start vacuuming everything around. Now, when you are in this place of confusion, you're still in the matter and the dark. When you start to share which is serving, it starts giving out to expand the flourish like a full blossom tree, a tree with fruits, abundance to life that makes you the light. So the very light, so this is very important for the transition. You realize it. So let this today's class be the inner micro shift which needs to happen. Otherwise, you are a destroyer within yourself, which is your darkness keep destroying everything that is helping you. Notice this process. Because this is a lot of people talk about the truth. All energy is depleting. Ask yourself, am I serving the truth or I want the truth to serve me? This is all to the young people out there. Because ego loves to be impressed, talked about, liked about, loved about. Now take a deep breath in and allow that wisdom to come through the chakras. It's an electric channel into the moment. Now the ego is a tool. Now all your words will come when you're sharing to express the service to life, service to the truth. When you become the channel, more wisdom flows to you. Life is something more alive than a philosophy. Otherwise, you'll be depleted when you are even teaching this class if it is not coming from that space. We all keen to understand and notice our egos. There is nothing to impress. That games are falling. Those games are catching up with you. If the truth that you learn has depleted you, then what is truth about it? When you have this moment to energize and brighten up the wisdom of the light within. The world is repeating the truth of great masters, but with the wrong intention. I'm special, I'm becoming something special. And then you're lost. But when you speak and share it humbly, well, there are a lot of people doing it too. But just observe where the ego transitioning into that area if you have it, but with that openness. And it as a person, whether it has humble. And when you realize this humility, raise the arms back to the ground, cleanse the space of the aura of the house into a whole. All the knowledge into the realization of the crown. Understood? Third eye, releasing any doubt. Now your humility has become an empty vessel where the word of the truth will move through your throat chakra. where more energy of life is filling you up through your heart, solar plexus into all parts of this body and beyond the body. Important to understand. Navel chakra. More. Bringing the change into the others through your realization. Arms raised back to the crown. Touch the earth. We are just still seeing the world through the dimension of a mind and a body and a matter. Most of the time, most of our leaks happen when we are in the thoughts or when we are in the talk. Understand that. Comes into the Namaskar position. In response to life. No reaction to anything. No proclaiming anything today. The moment you have cut off from you, come into that realization. Remember, wisdom and life is not words and philosophies. Let the mantra Om to sound activate the wisdom inherent. The sound activates the wisdom inherent into it. Take a deep breath in. Om. The activation. Let the vibration and intention touch everything. And release the manipulation of the ego. Namaste. Now you see, you got it. Now, these are, yoga is very important, but yoga is also important not only asana, pranayama, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. We have to be very careful in this. The sound is too much. The noise in the head resonate into those sounds that are more noise creating. But when we come into the situation where no longer it affects us, there is a realization. Our thoughts can be in the same place. Our emotion can be in the same place of conflict because we are conditioned to be separated. We are educated to serve ourselves. We are educated to take the truth, even it is the most beautiful, innocent thing. Even having a baby in that level, we want the joy for ourselves. I'm not talking about mothers and parenting here because otherwise I'll get bombarded next day with emails. I'm just talking about the realization of the truth has to be humbly. We have to serve the truth. And by coming into these spaces of these classes, you are coming into that realization very gently. So the tool of the ego, tool of my identification, tool of my age, tool of my health condition, serving still the truth. I'm not asking anything to change in my life. I am not saying I have lived a great life because I'm 100 years old one day. No. If I have lived a day in this planet in the most honest, authentic way, I have lived. I have lived even with all these conditions. So thank you. And these, all of you are the intricate things that allows me to come into that space of the realization. Otherwise, it won't happen. So my love to you, Dr. Michelle, for taking care of my great health. Maria, Sylvia, Dasa's family, great to see. Nora, great to see. You're very much missed in North. Matt, Liz, and Pamela, and the others who are going to join this class. Love to you all, big hugs. Have a great day. Love you all. Bye.